today we're getting down and dirty. We're getting on the floor because that's where it all starts for many of us guitar players. We're on the floor, we're next to an amp, we've got a mess of cables and pedals. At least this is where it started for me. I've made some mistakes, huge mistakes, when it comes to gear. My story started with a Fender Deluxe Reverb in 2006, brand new from the factory. Back in the day when you could go to your local music shop and have them be a Fender dealer and they would have everything in the tiny little store you could possibly imagine from Fender. And I went in and I knew the Deluxe Reverb was what my heroes at the time had used. Little did I know that the vintage Deluxe Reverbs that they were using were almost a completely different amplifier than what I was able to get from Fender at the time. So along comes the Quilter Aviator Cub, which I'm sitting next to right here with some pedals on top of it. I'm trying to figure out what this thing is all about. But the first thing I noticed is that it's got 3 inputs. And as I've been faced with in the past, you have the blackface, the blonde, and the tweed. And immediately I said, you know what? Clearly, I'm not going to be using the blonde or the tweed inputs on this amp, so I plugged everything into the blackface portion, and what I found, unsurprisingly, was this. Sounds really good, first of all, but it's still got that high-end, scooped-out middle thing that I have finally discovered that I don't like. So reluctantly, I unplugged from the blackface input and went over to the blonde input, and here's what I was left with. I was kind of reconfirmed in my thought process that I'm not really a Fender blonde tone type player or fan, to be honest. Here's the thing. There was a third input. I had written it off, all but written it off at this point, but I should have known that the tweed input is where I would find myself finally at home. Yes, finally, I learned something about myself. I need a Fender Tweed amp. I don't know which one. And maybe I don't need one at all because I have this. Now, the mid-range punch, the bottom end, that's it. That's what it's been missing. That's what my drive pedals have wanted all this time. That's what I've wanted all this time. And now I've got it. So, full disclosure, my first thought was, okay, cool. I've learned that about myself. How do I reverse engineer this using something else? And I caught myself and I said, wait a minute. If this thing sounds like I want it to, so what that it's solid state? So what that it's small? What do I need, really? I mean, I need something that is inspiring to play, something that's easy to carry around if I take it to a gig, and something that works well in my studio, and I can tell you, this is all of those things. So all of a sudden I realized, like, well, wait a minute. Am I switching amps? Is this it? Am I not even going for that Fender Tweed that this has told me that's kind of my thing? Am I not selling the Deluxe Reverb and getting a real Fender Tweed amp because I have this? I don't know. I'm at a crossroads. I don't want to make another mistake that I regret 20 years from now. So you tell me, what do I do?